Beardo Banjo.
Hello again everyone, it's me back again to do another Animal Crossing video, and today I'm going to talk about getting to 3-star island rating, which is something that everyone's trying to work towards because of course that unlocks the thing that everyone wants, which is the terrain tool, which lets you kind of alter the way your island looks, from things like adding adding cliffs, dropping cliffs, changing water, changing ground, adding paths. It really is the point that everyone wants to get to in the game because it allows you to make your island really truly your own. And if you're a very creative person, and I'm not particularly creative, but if you're super creative, then it will allow you to really make your island look super special. Now I just unlocked it this morning. Here's my character looking very dapper. He looks like a bit of a douche, but that's fine. Basically, I just unlocked it this morning, and it's added to your phone, Island Designer, as a little app. And when you go into the app, for one, you put on a little construction helmet, which is very cool. I can see some islanders creeping up behind me. There you go. So you put this little construction helmet on, and then you can do things like add paths. So I can stick little paths down on the floor. Nice. I don't actually like those ones, so I'm going to get rid of them. And you can also change the way the terrain looks by adding cliffs with this special cliff shovel. There you go, nice bit of a cliff there. You can get rid of it. And you can add water. Nice bit of water there. Well, I'm going to get rid of it. And that allows you to do things like get really creative, like make waterfalls, expand your ponds. The only things you can't do are change your shorelines. You can't change the kind of the overall shape of your island, the outer edges. That's off limits. You cannot do that. But to get to this point, you need to get your island to 3 stars. Now, it's actually fairly simple to do, but it can feel like you're not moving much every time you speak to Isabel if you're not following these little rules and tips and tricks that you need to kind of follow. Alright, let me just shut this down. Okay, so the first thing you need to do to get your star rating up towards 3, because when you start, your star rating is always going to be 1. To get it from 1 to 2, it's all about villagers, having villagers. Now, when you play through the game, Tom Nook gives you your first 3 plots that you have to put down, and you have to build the materials for the houses. Then you can kind of recruit villagers from Mystery Islands by travelling them. I've got, I think, 7 villagers, so that's kind of the point for me where it ticked from 1 star to 2 stars. You also get a villager from the campsite. When you make the campsite, the first person who comes along, he will just join your town. You have no say in that. Which can be a bit frustrating. I got an angry octopus man, Octavian, I think his name is. He's a fairly angry fellow. But yeah, you want to try and get your villagers to, I think, 7. 7 was the magic number for me. That ticked it from 1 star to 2 stars. But I think the maximum is 10. If you want to get 10 villagers, just work on getting 10 villagers. You can buy plots, like houses, that you can put down for 10,000 bells from Mr. Nook. After you've done that and you've got to 2 stars, to push it to 3 stars, you need to do a bunch of stuff. So I'll run through the things that kind of got me to 3 stars, and I say I only just did this yesterday, and that brought KK Slider in this morning. Firstly, put things outside. Put decorations outside. So I've got a little well there. I'll show you over here. I have put a lot of decorations around my services, my island services. I've got a little fountain, I've got some lampposts, I've got a phone box, a little clock there. I've got a terrifying raccoon over here on the beach, and then down by my house, telescope there, I've got a bunch of different decorations outside. The outside decorations really matter. They push your rating up quite a huge amount. So I've got decorations all over the place, and I always try to make a point of putting a decoration outside each house. Excuse me while I pop this balloon. Where are all my gear? Oh yeah, that's right, I sold my turnips this morning, so I don't have anything on me. What is that? Look at that, nothing in my inventory, Jesus. Iron nuggets. So yeah, I always make a point of putting items outside people's houses, so I'll try and put something outside each house. So there's a hammock there, a trash can there, and over here, over the bridge, some more decorations there from the terrifying egg day. Loads of decorations outside these houses. So I've got kind of tables, chairs, water fountains, all sorts. Just add things to your island that are outside that will impact the star rating in a massive way. I've also built a little campsite up here, but I won't bother going and showing you that. Second thing you want to do, get rid of all your weeds. You won't see any weeds on my island because I picked them. Weeds, sadly, grow back, so you've got to kind of stay on top of it. But if you've played Animal Crossing before, I'm sure you know all about that. Just make sure you're weeding, getting rid of all the weeds that are growing on the floor. Number three, third thing you need to do is plant some flowers. Now I've got not a huge amount of flowers, but I've got this nice little run here. A lot of them are still growing. I've got that little run of flowers there. I have got flowers planted outside my house. I've built a little flower garden for another villager, and I've left all of the naturally growing flowers up here on the higher part of my island. So I've just left them up there. So there is quite a lot of flowers on my island. You need those; they do help. Fourth thing you want to do is trees. Plant some trees. Some islands have got a lot more trees than others. Mine's quite lush with trees, but I've also built a little orchard behind my house, which has one of each of the, well, more than one of each of the fruit trees. So all these trees here that are growing behind my house are fruit trees: oranges, apples, peaches, pears, etc. And then I've got coconuts here on the beach. Plant some trees. I think it helps if you manage to get yourself all the other different fruit trees. So you can spread them out, you can put them all together, but just make sure there's enough trees on your island. Again, that does impact your star rating. The fifth thing you need to do is build some bridges. Now you have to build the first bridge. That's part of the storyline, so if you're following through, you will build a bridge anyway. My first one, the one that everyone I think gets first, is just the basic wooden bridge here. Now I've built another one over by the shops, just so I've got another walkway. But yeah, I've built one bridge there, and I've built 2 inclines. So I've got 2 bridges, 2 inclines, and as I say, that's been enough to take me to 3 stars. So I've got an incline here, and an incline just over here, just so that my villagers can basically access all the areas, and I don't have to carry around my ladder and my pole vault pole. This is my picnic area. I made it here, so I thought I'd show you. The final thing you need to do, so I think the sixth thing, I think there's 6 things really you need to do to get your rating up, is build some fences. You get given fences again as part of the storyline. It's all part of the game, and just use them. Now I haven't used a huge amount of fences. You don't need to go crazy. I've built a fence around my house, which took quite a bit. You know, just comes around there. And I've built one lot of fences, like a little garden over here for one of my villagers. Yeah, you sit there, Paolo. You chill out. There we go. A little bit of fencing there. So I didn't put down a huge amount of fencing, but I have put down some. It was the fences that kind of tipped me over in the end. I was sitting on 2 stars for a little while, and then I actually built this garden here, which was planting some flowers. I put down a decoration, and I put the fences up, and that ticked me over to 3 stars. Once you hit 3 stars, go speak to Isabel. She'll tell you that basically you've got some feedback from KK Slider. Nook will hear that. He goes crazy. He's like, wow, KK's coming. He'll turn up the next day, play his little gig, and at that point, you'll be greeted by Tom Nook outside your house, and he will give you the island designer. And at that point, you can start getting crazy creative. Now, I am not very creative. I'm going to try and do something, but I quite like my island being natural. But I am going to put some paths down and just start trying to muck around with some stuff. One other interesting fact is once you've unlocked the island designer, you can buy different types of... I've never heard any of my villagers sing before. Sahara's out there doing a little sing-song. That's quite nice. Once you've unlocked it, you can come into here and you can go to the Nook Stop multimedia terminal, and you can buy different kinds of paths. Oh, I've just cancelled out of it. That wasn't very clever. You can buy different kinds of paths, and you have to buy the tool that lets you do the inclines and the water. I think they cost about 6,000 Nook miles each, and then the paths cost 2,000 a piece. So you can have loads of different styles, or you can have your custom owned design path. So you could create something pretty unique going around your island. But yeah, that's basically it. That's how you get to 3 stars. You can keep pushing it after that point. You can get up to 5 stars. I don't know what happens if you get to 5 stars. I think it's just a bragging rights, but I'm sure you get some kind of reward. But 3 stars is the goal, because that allows you to start really impacting and changing the way your island looks. I've seen some crazy stuff online. People are very creative, far more creative than me. But yeah, that's how you get there. It might feel like you're stuck on 2 stars for a long time, or even 1 star. But if you follow these tips, get your villagers, plant your flowers, decorate outside, to get rid of all your weeds, put down some fences, build some inclines and some bridges, and plant some trees. If you've done all that, and I think I say 7 villages is about the right amount of villagers, if you follow that, you should be at a good place, and that should tick you over to 3 stars, and then that should allow you to start changing stuff. Hopefully that was helpful. I've never heard her sing before. Incredibly cute. If you do all that, it will tip you over to 3 stars and you can start changing your island. Hopefully that helps. I'll see you soon for another one. Take care, guys.